Today, I'm going to pick a random grave and research their life. So let's go.
I was looking for a grave which stood out from the rest, and it wasn't long before we found one.
I've chosen the grave of Francis Charles Waldale, who passed away in 1913, aged 39. So I'm going to go home, research his life, and see what I can find.
Francis Charles Waldale was born in 1873 in Glasgow, Scotland, to Sarah Hastings and Henry Youngs Waldale. His parents were originally from King's Lynn. Tragically, just 11 days after he was born, his mother died due to complications during the birth. He had one older sister named Bessie.
In 1881, aged 8, he was boarding at Welwick House, which was once a boarding school.
In 1891, aged 18, he was an apprentice chemist to George Chennington in Market Place, Newark. By the mid-1890s, he had his own chemists in Barking, Essex. And in 1897, aged 24, he married Annie Oliver Jones.
In 1897, he was involved in a case which shook the whole community. He was one of the participants involved in undoing a pregnancy.
The headline said, "Alleged illegal operation." It said George Walters, described as a doctor, Neville Shorthouse, a physician, and Francis Waldale, the druggist, were charged with having conspired together to perform an illegal operation on Eliza Lambert. Eliza was a domestic servant living in East Ham. At the time, she was pregnant and went to the druggists in West Ham. She told Francis Waldale of her trouble, and he supplied her with some medicine. Subsequently, she got another supply, and at the same time, he said he would introduce her to Dr. Walters, who would perform an operation. She went to see the doctor, and he offered to perform the operation for £25. Eventually, they agreed on £5. The girl's statement then went on to tell that 2 operations were being performed, at one of which a second man with a dark moustache was present. All 3 men denied any knowledge, but Waldale said, "I suppose this is some of Walter's tricks. He is a fool. I don't know how anybody stands him. He is only a quack." The men were remanded for a week. The trial was halted for a month as the girl went missing, but she was eventually found in South Africa, and it was thought the men were behind it. She was found and told to come back to England. Eventually, all 3 men were found guilty. Walters and Shorthouse were sentenced to 7 years, and Waldale 12 months hard labour. It was discovered that Walters was not even a qualified doctor. On release, Francis continued as a chemist, and in 1913 it was discovered he had tuberculosis. He was given medical advice to go to Bognor Regis, but he passed away on the 22nd of March 1913. In his will, he left £500 to his servant, Annie Norman, the equivalent of $73,000 in today's money. In his will, it said, "In recognition of her constant efforts for many years to minister to my comforts, as I consider those who help to smooth life's difficulties, for one every day, are more entitled to such recognition than blood relations one seldom sees. Our last stop was to pay our respects. So rest in peace, Francis. You will be remembered."